Alrighty, so this video is for Eric. Alright, Eric is the first and so far only commenter on my YouTube page. So Eric, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Now, this is basically a walkthrough video of how to play, A Horse with No Name by the band America. Okay? Very simple song, really a great one to start with when you're learning guitar. I'm going to try to make this as far as a tutorial video as simple as possible, but there are a few things that we want to make sure we know before we actually start learning the song. Okay, now just for passing along information purposes, remember that your guitar strings, when I'm passing along what string to play on, I'm going to use these string names, okay? It's E, A, D, G, B, E. That's lowest to highest. And when I say lowest to highest, I mean lowest string note, okay? The thicker ones, all right? Those are the lower ones. The higher ones are the thinner ones. Probably already know that. Just want to make sure when I'm talking to you, when I say lower, I mean lower notes, not lower on the guitar neck or anything, okay? From there, these metal wires here that go, north to south, up and down, rather than horizontally along the neck, are called frets. All right, again, I don't know your level, Eric, but that's key. Okay, now good news is we don't have to worry too much about how many, like all of the strings or all of the frets. Really, the only ones that we're going to be, fretting as far as the strings go are the lowest four. These ones right here, okay? And specifically on the second fret. So it goes 1, 2, right? That's the second fret right here. Now, the first chord we're going to be playing is going to be an E minor, all right? Not that you necessarily need to know the chord name yet, but that's what we're playing. The other one is going to be a variation on a D. I won't worry about the exact chord name right now. That's neither here nor there. But the good news is there's really only a small change to switch between the two. I'm going to play the E minor first here, okay? Just worry about a downstroke on this one. Don't get too fancy with your right hand for now. That's assuming you're right-handed. So now in E minor, you're going to leave your E string, your low E string, open so that it rings free, right? And then you're going to play the second fret on your A string, the second fret on your D string, open G, B, and then your high E are also going to be open. That's the chord. Those two strings are fretted on the second fret. Now your second chord is going to be that variation on a D chord, all right? We're just going to call it D for now, okay? What you're going to do is you're going to move your middle finger down to the low E string, okay? Oh, here, let me get this off here. It's my tuner, sorry about that. Move it down to the low E string, and then your ring finger up to the B string, okay? And when I say up, I mean up, or up to the, okay. Up to the G string from the D string, okay? So I'll show you that again. I know it's kind of an awkward angle, but it's the easiest way to see it. So that's your E minor. Then you're going to move your middle finger down to the second fret on the E string, your low E string, and then your ring finger up a string higher to the G string. And that's it. That's literally the only change there is. You're going to go back and forth between those two, okay? That is the only change to your left hand here, okay? So pretty straightforward. But one thing to remember when you are playing notes, in chords especially, when you're fretting them, you want to make sure there's a bit of an arch in your fingers and your palm. okay, that's going to allow the other strings that are not being fretted to ring, okay, because, you know, we want to make sure we're not muting them all when we're playing these. So almost like you're on a keyboard, right? When you don't want to hit the other keys or the space bar, you're going to keep a little bit of an arch there. Ideally, you can see through it. I mean, this is a relatively simple chord. There's only 2 fingers, so you should be able to put your finger through there at the very least, so there's space. And then, see, there's still space, no matter what I do, right? Cool stuff? Good? Awesome. You're learning fast, Eric. Well done. I think. I don't know. By the time we're done with this video, you're going to be a better guitarist than me. I guarantee it. I don't actually guarantee it. That was a lie. Don't listen to anything I say other than how to play this song. Even that is a little iffy, I guess. But regardless, we're going to get through this. So I would start with down strokes. I would just do downstrokes. Keep your right hand really, really simple while you're getting used to switching between your 2 chords, okay? Because while the right hand is a little bit more difficult than the left hand, you're probably not going to be quite used to switching these on demand, knowing exactly where to set them, right, on the strings. So I would work on that, getting used to the changes in your grip for these, well, any song you're learning. That's probably going to be really difficult, at least to start, but you're going to pick it up a lot quicker than you think you will, because eventually you won't even have to think about where your fingers are going, even for other chords. I mean, if you're used to where they're sitting, you don't even have to think about it. I mean, that's just how, it's just muscle memory at a certain point. But just concentrate on, you know, for now. Now, when you feel like you got that down, when you're able to change between, you know, the various chords at will without having to think about it too much, what you're going to want to do is probably start concentrating on your right hand. I'm sorry, my TV just went blue here, so I apologize for that odd hue you got going on. Now, when it comes to the right hand, honestly, when I first picked up guitar, this was actually probably the hardest part to learn. I had already played bass for, you know, a couple of years up to the point where I actually picked up a guitar, but the hardest thing for me to pick up was the right hand, the up and down strokes, okay, and being able to, you know, change between the 2. I would reset after playing, right? So this is probably something you're going to have to concentrate on. And if you have to do it where you're not actually fretting any notes to start, that's fine. It's okay. It's just a work in progress. So you can literally just set your hand here and do that. That's fine if that's what you have to do. But what's complicated about your right hand is the combination of up and down strokes and palm muting, okay? This is probably, again, one of the hardest parts of this song to pick up, but it's also a really good teacher because of it. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit your lowest string, or the E string, on your E chord, just that one. That's it. Right? E, da, 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 da. That's it. That's your E chord. Then when you switch is kind of where it gets a little bit more complicated. When you go to your D, which is, you know, second fret on your E string, and then second fret on your G string, all of the strings, excuse me, is they're fair game, so you don't have to worry about only hitting certain ones. But you notice what I did there? So what's happening is you're using a palm mute, okay? So hitting the strings with the side of your palm. So this kind of chunky part of your hand, right? That's what's laying down on the strings to prevent them from ringing out, okay? So how you go about doing that is going to be up to you as far as remembering to set it down, but you only want to do it at certain points. So it's it's kind of hard to show you the angle that's going on there, but it's really a feel thing. It's tough to teach without kind of really having you on a guitar in front of me. But you're gonna aim for just in front of the bridge, right? So where the strings are here. If you want to just kind of lay your hand across that point, which is your bridge, your saddles, you're going to just kind of hit it there. I mean, that's about it. And then remember, it's still on beat. So there's a lot of kind of upstrokes at that point. Essentially what's going on. Just you can mute this. That's how you get the high notes. So honestly, as much as I'd like to go on, I would like you to kind of work on those chords first. Again, don't worry about the right hand so much. If you just want to arpeggiate them for now, that's fine. Arpeggiation is hitting all the strings of the chord up and down. Arpeggiation. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw a musical term at you, but just make sure that the chords are ringing out with your left hand when you change between them. If you're doing that, if you're doing good on that, awesome, good stuff. From there, maybe just do up and down quarter notes. Try that. And then when you're comfortable with that, switching between them and doing up and down strokes, maybe start it's really just a combination of, making sure the notes are ringing out properly and coordinating with your right hand. It's a kind of a rub your belly, pat your head sort of situation. It'll take time, it'll take practice, but it's a really great feeling when you get it down. It's indescribable when you get to play for somebody for the first time. So work on it. Have at it, and if you run into any trouble, reach out to me. You can put a comment on the video about how well or bad I did teaching you. And hey, if you want to respond to the video with you playing, I would be forever grateful. You have a good night, Eric. Good luck, and really glad you're trying to pick up the guitar. It's a really, really great thing to know. And the ladies love it. Sometimes. You have a good night, okay? Bye.